Alright, we're going to be doing this isometric drawing over here. It's got an octagon at the back there and a hexagon. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some auxiliary views of that. I'm going to start out by just drawing a little bit of a construction line going up over here. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, with a construction line going through the middle of it. It's always useful just to draw a construction line. Okay, I'm then going to go over here and I'm going to do a long dash, short dash story again, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash over there. Okay, it says that I've got a 60 millimeter between the flats over there. So I'm just going to take my pair of compasses, set that to 30 over here, 30, and I go into that center, and I'm just going to make a little mark over there, make a little mark over there, make a little mark over there, make a little mark over there. Right, once I've got that, I'm just going to draw a line coming across like that, up to the top there, line going across like that, go down over here, line going across like that, line going across like that. Sorry, let's just get that a little bit more accurate. There we go. Okay, once I've got that, take your pair of compasses, set it at the corner over there, go out to the middle over there, and you're just going to do a little arc going around like that. You're going to go to this corner over here, do a little arc going around like that. That gives you the length of the side that you need for your octagon. Okay, just draw a line going over there, 45 degree going up over there. Okay, you can take a line going up over here, take a line going at 45 degrees over there, line going from there going up to the top there, that'll give you that side over there, line coming down over here at 45 degrees, should link up with that arc, line coming across over here, giving you that point, and a line coming down, and a 45 degree, which should link up over there. There's your auxiliary view done for the octagon. I'm going to do another little story. It says it's a 15 millimeter side over there. Set your pair of compasses to 15. Going over here, let's do a little long dash, short dash story. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Take a line coming down over here, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Take that, I'm going to just draw in a arc coming around, like, whoopsie, sorry. Arc coming around, just over there we go. Okay, and I take my set square, a 60 degree over there, line coming down over there, a line coming across over here, and there we go, there's my hexagon done. Okay, right, once I've got that in place, I then start looking at this thing, and you can see that I've got this arc with a radius of 30 millimeters, and they've given you a point A. Right, if you look at this, what views have I got here? I've got a front view, a top view, and a right view over there. Okay, so they're wanting you to draw this, normally showing those three views over there. They've given you the point A. Okay, so somewhere down here, let's put a point A. There is point A over there, and I'm going to draw in a line going out over here, just a construction line. Construction line going out from point A over there. Construction line going out from point A over there. Right, what view have I got? I need to have my front view going out there, my right view going out there. Right, if you look at it, front view, the A is in my right hand, there's my right hand, and it needs to go out there. For my right view, A is in my left hand, and the view is going out there. Over here, I've got my left hand, and there it goes out there. Right, once I've got that idea, I'm then going to say, all right, the radius of this thing is 30. So I'm going to, first of all, get a radius of 30 on my pair of compasses, go to A over there, mark that off over there, and I'm going to draw in a construction line just going across there. I'm going to draw a little line going up over here, like that, and I'm going to say the height of this thing over here, it says it is 10 millimeters going up over there. I'm just going to take my pair of dividers over here, measuring off 10 millimeters going up from that center over there. Right, that mark that I've got there is probably the most important thing that I can draw in this whole thing, and I'm going to take my 0.3 pencil and I'm going to draw center lines. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Okay, I then take my 30 millimeter radius that I've got on my pair of compasses, and I'm going to make a little mark over there. And I'm going to draw the long dash, short dashes going over there. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Okay, once I've got that, take my pair of compasses with the 30 millimeter radius. Make a little mark over there, make a little mark over there, swing it around, make a little mark over there, make a little mark over there. Right, once I've got that, I can now take this green pencil and I'm going to draw a line going there, a line going there, a line going there, and a line going there. Right, once I've got that in place, take your 30-degree set square, 30-60, there we go, drawing a line going over there, drawing a line going over there, right, that gives you the arcs that you sort of need. Right, it says that I've only got a semicircle over here, so I actually didn't need to draw that part. I can just take my pair of compasses, set them from there to the center line. If you look at it, I've got a line that is going to go from there to from the center line to a center line. Going from a center line to a center line. Draw that in. There we go. Okay. Right. I'm going to just drop that down over here. Got that point over there. And I've got that point over there. Right, I'm going to take my pair of compasses. They're still set to that radius that I've just done over there. I'm going to swing that around over here, make a little arc over there, make a little arc over there, swing that around over here, and I now draw in an arc which goes around like that. Right, that's that little arc done. My next little arc is if I take a line, a construction line going across over here. Okay, from that corner of the square to that corner of the square, you can see that intersection over there. That gives me the radius for that small little radius. Take your pair of compasses, pop that in over there, wind that back, and links up with the center line to center line, center line to center line. So I draw in that little radius coming around over there. Right, I need that same radius to be drawn over here. So what I need to do is just to draw a line coming across over here. That links up with that point over there, and I know that I need a radius to be drawn from that point to that point. Right, so what I do, I've got that same radius, there's my radius, pop it onto there, come around over here, draw a little arc on that side, drop it down, draw a little arc over there. You've got that same radius coming in over here, and I'm going to draw a line, a little arc coming around just a little bit over there, and you'll see that if I drop this down over here, if I've drawn accurately enough, I should be able to draw a little tangent coming down over here, which is going to link up. Just finish that off a little bit. There it is, coming around and linking up with that. There we go. That's that story done. I've got that center over there, and I now need to draw that hexagon in. Right, so how do I go about doing that? I've got this radius over here, okay, that little radius over there, which is the 15 millimeters that I need. And I can see that that is pointing towards the circle. So I come in over here, and I'm going to make a little mark over there, and a little mark over there. Right, I need to get this distance over here. Note, I'm going to be reducing the radius over here. Very important. It's reducing that radius to that size over there. Coming over here to the center again, mark that over there, mark that over there, and I'm now going to draw in, just going to use a different color over here, construction line over there, a construction line over there. Right, once I've done that, I then take this distance over here, it's half the length of that side, half the length of that side, pop that in over there, make a little mark on that side, make a little mark on that side, come over here, make a little mark on that side, make a little mark on that side of the center line. Once I've got that, well, I've got a line which I can draw over here from that corner of the hexagon to that corner of the hexagon. A line going from that corner of the hexagon to that corner of the hexagon. Note, those lines that I just drew are non-isometric lines. Line going from that corner to that, and from that corner to that. And these two lines over here, note that is parallel to the center line. So if it's going parallel to the center line, that means that I have got a isometric line. That line that I'm drawing there and that line over there will be the same length as the actual drawing itself. Right. Okay, moving back over here from point A, going back to there is the 75 millimeters that I need. Just going to take my pair of dividers, measuring off 75 mils, going back, 75 mils, take that. There's point A, measuring back 75 mils. Take my set square, draw in that 75 mils going back. Right, that goes back to a line coming back over here. I can draw a line going up over here. That's nice and dark. I'm just going to draw in a line coming back over here. Note, construction line going back over there. I have got the center line coming across over here. It says that this thing is 15 millimeters over here. 15 millimeters going over there. So I'm going to measure back 15 millimeters. With my pair of dividers, 15 millimeters going over there. Knock that in over there. Draw a line coming across over here. And as I say, the most important lines on these things are the center lines. There's the center over there. I'm going to draw another center line going up over here. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Right. I know the distance from the base of this octagon up to the center over there is that much. I'm going to pop that in from there to there. That's to the center. And I'm going to draw in another center line coming across. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Okay, once I've got that in place, well, that's fairly easy to get the measurements over here. In fact, I'm just going to take a pair of compasses because it's going to be more accurate. There we go. That's that. You can see that goes, the center lines, they're all the same. So I go to that center over there. There it is at the bottom. Make a little mark there, make a little mark there, make a little mark over there. Right. Once I've got that in place, I can then measure off this distance over here from there to there. That's the halfway, the midpoint of that line. Go down to the bottom over here, measure off that on that side, that on that side. Okay, I'm going to just draw in that line dark from there to there. That is the length of the side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just draw some construction lines from there to there, from there to there, from there to there, okay? And I know that the top and the bottom of this thing are going to be the same length, so if I drop lines going like that and like that, I can then draw in a line going across over here, like that, all right? Note, it's parallel to that center line, therefore it is the same length on this drawing over there and there. Right, if you know anything about angles, that is a 45-degree angle on a two-dimensional drawing. When I come to a three-dimensional drawing, I use a 60-degree for that same line. Over here, I'll use a 30-degree for that same line. Going up to the top over here, 60-degree coming down. Over here, 30-degree going across. Okay, and it gives you the impression that I'm using 45-degree angles. This line over here will be the same as the actual drawing over there. Right, once I've got that in place, I'm going to take the line coming back over here. You can see it coming back, and it goes to that point over there. I'm going to be able to draw a line coming up to that point over there. Sorry, let's just do that. There we go. Right. Okay, I now draw in lines coming out from these corners over here, from there, from there, from there, from there. Right, once I've got that in place, the distance back on this thing is going to be from there. I need that 15 millimeters going back. So that distance over there, I'm going to bomb that in over here, and I can now draw in the back part of this thing. There it is going up there. Take my 60-degree set square, slap that over there, take that up to the top, take that across, there we go. And I can now draw in these lines over here, from there to there, from there to there, from there to there, and from there to there. Note, this line over here is at that 30 degrees, and it continues. There's the 45-degree angle that it's cut off at. I just need to finish this off by drawing a line coming across over there. Right, last thing that we need to do is to get the depth of this. I just need to draw some construction lines coming down over here, from there, and from there. Right, once I've got those two in place, all I need to do is to measure this distance over here, that distance over there, pop that in over here, so there's that distance. I need to take my 30-degree and 45-degree set square linked together, put those two together like that, slide that down over here, and I'm going to draw a line coming across from there to there. This one over here is going at that 30-degree angle, so coming across over there. I've got a line that is going to come down over here, and a line that's going to come down over there. And there's a very, 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 very tiny little bit of line that you can get by putting that together like that. Slide that back over here to that point over there, and get that same angle in over there. Right, there's the drawing completed. I always say to you, put in a center line over here, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. You've got a center line that needs to be drawn across over here. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. And a center line that needs to be drawn across over here for that circle over here, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash over there, giving you the centers for the top circle and the bottom circle. One line missing over here, just see that, just count the corners. Always count your corners so that you make sure that you've got 3 lines going into each corner, and you should have the correct thing. There are no holes or anything else that I've missed out? No, that's all good.